Ranking the AFL all-time ladder. In first place finishes Collingwood, with 1,578 wins, 28 draws, and 1,014 losses. Collingwood amassed a 6,368 point tally, with a percentage of 112.35. In second place finishes Carlton Blues, with 1,457 wins, 34 draws, and 1,083 losses. Carlton finished second on 5,896 points, with a percentage of 108.05. In third place are Essendon. The Bombers have amassed over time 1,410 wins, 36 draws, and 1,095 losses, with a point tally of 5,712 and a percentage of 107.47. Finishing up the top four is Geelong. Now the Cats finished fourth with 1,384 wins, just 23 draws and 1,115 losses, which brings a total point tally of 5,625. And interestingly, a higher percentage than Carlton with 107.62. Starting the bottom of the top 8, we've got fifth place is Sydney Swans. Now the Swannies have won 1,204 matches over their time and have drawn 24, alongside 12,086 losses, which takes their point tally to 4,864, at a lower than normal percentage at 98.77. Finishing just below Sydney at 6th place is the Richmond Tigers. Now the Tigers have lost just a little bit less than Sydney at 12,001. They've drawn 25 matches and they've lost less matches at 1,119. However, Richmond finished just 10 points behind Sydney at 4,854, but with a higher percentage at 100.77. Finishing in 7th place are the Melbourne Demons. Now the D's have won 1,135 matches and drawn just 22, alongside 1,328 losses. Across their whole lifespan, Melbourne have amassed a point tally of 4,584, with a lower percentage at 95.46. Finishing up the top 8 is the Hawks, with 1,003 wins and just 13 draws over their time. In their history, they've lost 1,043 matches, which in total gets them a point tally of 4,038 and an impressive percentage of 101.06. Ironically, just finishing out the top 8 is St Kilda, who finished 9th. Now over time, the Saints have won 960 matches and have drawn 27. With 1,470 losses, the Saints have gotten a points tally over time of just 3,894 and a quite poor percentage at 88.6. Coming in 10th place, we have the Western Bulldogs, or who used to be Footscray. Now Footscray, or the Doggies, they've won 922 matches and drawn 22. With 1,083 losses, their points tally comes to 3,732 and a pretty mediocre percentage of 95.11. Finishing in 11th place, we have the Kangaroos. Now North have won just 893 matches over their time and 18 draws. With 1,136 losses, North gets a points tally of 3,608, which finishes them just below the Dogs. They've also got a poorer percentage than the Dogs at 94.01. Our first extinct club comes in next at 12th, which is Fitzroy. Now Fitzroy have won 869 matches. With 25 draws and 1,034 losses, their points tally comes to a total of 3,526, and once again a relatively mediocre percentage at 94.82. Coming in 13th place, we have the West Coast Eagles. The Eagles finished quite significantly under Fitzroy because they have played a lot less games. Now in their history, the Eagles have won 465 matches with just 6 draws, as well as 369 losses, which brings their points tally to a total of 1,872. However, they have a very impressive percentage with 107.77. Now in 14th place, we have the Adelaide Crows. The Crows have won 378 matches, they've drawn 2 and they've lost 352. Now over time, they've amassed 1,516 points. Once again, they've got a very impressive percentage at 105.88. Just under Adelaide in 15th are their crosstown rivals Port Adelaide Power. Now the South Australian team, which was injected more recently into the AFL, have won 314 matches and just drawn 5. With 275 losses, Port Adelaide have amassed 1,266 points. And once again, they have a positive percentage at 102.96. Now in 16th place, we have have the Brisbane Lions. They've won 287 matches, they've drawn 6 matches, and they've lost 301 in the whole lifespan. The all-time Lions points tally is 1,160, with a pretty average percentage of 98.93. Just under the Brisbane Lions, we had the West Australian team, the Fremantle Dockers. Just like Port Adelaide, they were the second West Australian team introduced to the AFL, with 281 wins, 2 draws, and 343 losses. Over their whole existence, Freo have amassed 1,128 points, with a somewhat poor percentage of 92.13. The most recent inducted AFL team, the Giants, finished next in 18. With 108 wins, 4 draws, and 138 losses, they have amassed 440 points, with a percentage of just under 90 at 89.92. Another extinct club comes in 19, the Brisbane Bears. Now, the Brisbane Bears have won 72 matches and they've drawn 2, and they lost quite a few at 148, which leaves them with a points tally of 292 at a pretty horrific percentage at 80.86. Coming in second last, just above third last Brisbane Bears, is the Gold Coast Suns. Now, they've won just 3 matches less than the Brisbane Bears at 69. They've also drawn 2. However, they have lost a bunch more at 188, which leaves them just 12 points off the Brisbane Bears at 280 points, and a horrific percentage at 72.46. And in dead last, the wooden spoon of the all-time AFL ladder is University, with just 27 wins, 2 draws, and a horrific 97 losses. University have only managed to muster up 112 points, and an even worse percentage than Gold Coast at 68.17. Here's how the final ladder looks.